Your head is a houseboat. It's a chaotic guide to mental clarity, and I'm going to read it to you a little bit while I paint. This is the introduction. It's a weird time to be alive right now. There's just so much input. You wake up, check your phone, stuff goes in. You make a coffee, stuff goes in. Being the person you have to be in various situations, and all the while stuff goes in. All this stuff has to go somewhere, and so it ends up in your head. Good stuff goes into your head like the smell of rain hitting a hot tar road. The scent of suburban summer makes you sentimental for stormy school days, and you're hit with a key bump of nostalgia. The day-to-day stuff goes in and often competes for brain space. You said you'd help your sister move next Saturday, which is precisely when your friend is hosting their annual boozy brunch, murder mystery, plus you accidentally said yes to dressing up as a gift-giving holiday wallaby for your work's non-denominational end-of-year office party, and Saturday is your only day to source a costume. Bad stuff goes in your head too. You see a juicy war in a comment section and you read every word, slur, and misspelt death threat. 86 comments later, you feel broken and bitter, marveling at just how far humans haven't come. You deal with that, but first you'll have to address the fact that in an almost comical twist of events, your kid bit a dog. The dog owner is now demanding that your barely literate toddler writes a letter of apology to Mr. Pickles. Administrative stuff goes in, your once reliable car broke down last week and has since become a very reliable paperweight. When those two obligations give your brain a rest, you can finally get back to thinking about that lump on the back of your neck. The one that your partner said was nothing but WebMD has confirmed is most definitely a tumor. You need a break, but the 21st century has other plans. All this stuff is going into your head in the most stuff-heavy context our species has ever known, the internet age. Our brains are the canaries in the coal mine testing how much data our descendants can or should consume. We're yet to see the long-term effects of all this input, and so internet consumption grows exponentially. The amount of data humans generated in the year 2000 will be the amount of data humans in 2025 generate every 9 minutes. Every single day, we publish 500 million tweets, send 294 billion emails, upload 95 million Instagram posts, and post 82 years of YouTube videos. And somehow, we end up seeing the worst of it. Online, you endure the millions of people posting their best lives. As the people around you perfect the art of PR, you turn your sights to PI. The first case to solve is how a family of 5 can afford to travel for 8 months of the year while you toil away hoping for a half day off. You wade through the muck of luxury yacht TikTok tours, spammy Lambograms, and beauty-intensifying Snapchat filters bound to induce some of that trademark internet body dysmorphia. No answers there either. A quick scroll will show you a world where legitimate news outlets use clickbait headlines for ad revenue, where old high school friends become life coach/real estate agents on Instagram, and where anonymous writers produce erotic fan fiction about Goku and Anne Frank. And it's all competing for your attention. Put all this together, and we get pressure, a key player in your cerebral pillow talk. There's the constant pressure to stay healthy and fit, which you've begun to suspect is a government conspiracy to sell activewear and kale. There's the pressure to have a more fulfilling career, which is an idea that seems to be yelled at you simultaneously by your successful cousin Susan and every sleazy crypto shilling guru on a pop-up ad. There's the pressure to dress better, read more, and try new things like escape rooms and axe throwing, which your new age boss says are good for company culture. There's the pressure to be on all the time. God forbid you're not. At every minute, a sexy partner, a charming party guest, and patient Monopoly player with killer calves and some enlightening stories from the summer you spent in a Buddhist monastery. At the end of a hard day, you probably feel more exhausted than a fly who doesn't quite understand the mechanics of a window. You know the fly. They can't see the open crack in the window. And much to your vicarious frustration, they keep flying out the window pane over and over again. They deplete their energy while going nowhere. On a day where you feel like your head lost the battle and all the stuff going in won, The fly becomes very relatable. When we can't escape, when we feel tired, when we know that there's a crack to fly through but we can't find it, we all find some way to cope with all that stuff. Your way to cope might be healthy. Maybe you jog or rock climb or make inspiring papier-mâché sculptures of the twin you ate in utero. I love this guy. Or maybe your methods are turbo and lawless. Maybe you just pour yourself a glass of white wine, have a rant about your boss, to your dog, and mainline a bit of MasterChef. Whichever way these hard days end, you remain like the fly, stuck in the pain stage. Deep down, you suspect that there's a way to open the window and release your inner fly from perpetual exhaustion. If only you could press pause on all this stuff. If these thoughts sound familiar, you might be reading the right book. Or dare I say, friends, this was not his words. You might have picked the right hobby. Watercolor, of course. Let me get back to the book. The author here, his name is Campbell Walker. He's got an amazing YouTube channel. It's called Struthless. Of course, I'll link it below. He goes on to say at this point, by the way, my name is Cam and I want to talk to you about mental clarity. Mental clarity seems like a very highbrow topic for anyone to talk about, but it's also a very necessary one. In the past 100 years, we've seen our species go from inventing the television to having a personal computer in every pocket. The good news is we no longer have a deficit of information. We can instantly translate any language, learn the age of the universe, and educate ourselves about the hilarious and traumatizing creatures of the deep sea. The bad news is, with all that information, we now have a deficit of mental clarity. The biggest companies in the world live and die on how well they can hijack your attention. In addition to your own compromised brain space, there is a compounding effect from the attention deficit of everyone around you. Being mentally cluttered is the new normal. The risk is that you take in terrifying news stories, thousands of competing opinions, shiny new gadgets, energy drinks that promise nirvana, your best friend's cousin's friend's wedding drama, office politics, and countless shows wherein suburban couples renovate their kitchens, until you die, without ever really knowing who you are, what fulfills you, and how you can live a meaningful life. Instead of experiencing stillness, we risk living in a washing machine of other people's dirty laundry. As we roll deeper into the 21st century, this danger will only increase. I believe it is therefore vital to build a solid mental foundation to prepare us for the onslaught of weirdness this world will inevitably bring. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to mental clarity, but I am a veteran of mental unclarity. For most of my life, my head has been about as clear as a Mud and Milo milkshake. I let stuff in rent-free with a complimentary breakfast. I just assumed my unclear head meant I'd been stuck with a broken model. This naturally led to all the wrong fixes: drug abuse, impulsivity, and rather graphic self-induced high-speed car crash. What I've learned is that your brain isn't dangerous, but not knowing your brain is. So we're going to get to know your brain through a series of abstract and potentially quite mixed metaphors. I believe metaphor is the best device for understanding ourselves, as metaphor explains the unknown in terms of the known. And your head is a deep unknown. After years of introspection, research, and therapy, I have largely found peace through two things. 1, understanding my brain's functions, and 2, extensive guided journaling. Now, he goes on to explain exactly what this book is about, and honestly, friends, I would jump at the chance. Go ahead and get this one for yourself. It's a new year, new you type of really good thing for you to do for you. And of course, keep watercoloring. I'll meet you over at this video next, and we will have some amazing happy painting together.